Hey guys, today we're checking out the Attack on Titan deck building game from Cryptozoic Entertainment, Kodansha, and Funimation. So here's the box, which is very notable because usually the boxes are like long ways. This one is tall because it's a very vertical series, I guess, to really showcase the height of the Titans and the insurmountable odds that the protagonists have to face. So that's kind of cool, and you can see quite a bit here, and it does actually have a first printing promo inside. This is the only version of this game, so I don't think there was ever an expansion. So there's no second version or anything else to be looking for. If you like Attack on Titan, this is basically all you get. But if you're a fan and you're a fan of the DC deck building game and all of Cryptozoic's stuff, then this could be a must have for you. Attack on Titan deck building game, 188 game cards, 7 oversized hero cards, 7 hero standees. So there's something about this that I think might play into one specific core base set. 5 hero bases, 10 wall tokens, 5 wall tiles, 1 round token, and lots of hit point tokens. It didn't really give us a number, lots of them. So cool, I guess. One thing that's very notable is that within this one standalone set, it is actually 1 to 5 players. Normally it's 2 to 5 players, 2 to 4, but this one is very special actually in that you can play with just the one. Ages 15 and up, playtime 60 minutes to 90 minutes. So about an hour and a half. Pretty cool. This is the moment for war. Fearsome giant creatures beyond belief are attacking the last human city, and it's up to you to stop them. Entering the terrifying world of the renowned Attack on Titan anime series, you and your fellow players are all that stand against the onslaught of the unholy titans. In this cooperative deck building game, test your mettle by collecting weapons and utilizing tactics to defend the walls of your city. Play as Eren, Mikasa, Armin, and many others as you struggle to keep the titans at bay. New to this Cerebus engine game is movement. The location of your hero matters. Protect the walls or watch them crumble. But do not lose hope, no matter the odds, and no matter who among you falls to the onslaught, it may be soon up to you to land the killing blow that will turn the tide of battle. It's kind of a weird 2 sentences there. Cooperative deck building gameplay is one of 7 different heroes, each with a unique special ability. Move your hero from location to location to gather the cards you need to stop the Titans. Compatible with previous and future Cerebus Engine releases, meaning you can combine this with the DC deck building game, Naruto deck building game, Rick and Morty, and what else do we have? Cartoon Network, Street Fighter, and Lord of the Rings, I believe, is another one. That one's kind of costly, and I'm honestly not a Lord of the Rings fan as well as they are photographic. They're like movie stills. Doesn't always mix well with these more. Well, this one's gonna be anime and some of the others, but cartoon, anime, or comic images. They don't always mesh well, and people tend to take issue with that. So yeah, here it is. I think it is notable here. It says Cerebus Engine Attack on Titan because it's the I guess the Attack on Titan version of the Cerebus Engine. And let's check it out. So the booklet might be the cheapest in quality. Yeah, this is printed on just regular paper, so it's not like glossy or anything. You would think it'd be like glossy, kind of slippery, but no, this is just like paper, which I mean, it is what it needs to be. It just has to teach you how to play. So, you know, that's actually not too big of a deal. Yeah, so, you know, I don't hate it. This thing actually, the funny thing is, the DC deck building game manuals are usually higher quality than the actual comic books are now, and this kind of is a bit closer to the quality that you'll get in the comics now than the actual manuals for the other one. So I think that's kind of funny and notable to take note of, I guess. Set that aside for now, and then we have start of round, first player token, some walls, like a picture of walls, and we have the different named walls, tokens, and your characters. We'll take a look at them again later, but we have Eren, Armin, Mikasa, Connie, Levi, Irwin, Hange, and Sasha. You can tell I'm only a few episodes into the show. I'm probably on episode 6 right now. I am enjoying it, and getting this definitely spurred me on to continue watching the show. More walls. These are probably going to be you place them around, and then we have more hit points tokens. All right, so we have this guy right here, that guy right there. These are some black stands, which, if I'm not mistaken, are very similar to what we have in the Transformers deck building game, and more than likely DC deck building game Rebirth. They actually gave us little baggies. Unless the person who sold this to me, who didn't open anything, they just kind of took off the shrink wrapping. Uh, unless they happen to give me these little baggies. I guess it comes with little baggies, which is pretty darn useful. Your character cards here, and then the one promo card, which is Hanj, which I think is a woman. I think this one is the promo, but it doesn't say promo on it. So I could be wrong, but yeah, let's open this up. Hopefully it won't be too difficult to open up. Sometimes these things are. Now, going from the DC deck building game, we know that the main deck is going to be comprised of allies or heroes, equipment, location cards. Maneuver cards are new, I do believe, because I don't quite know what that would be. You have your regular Titans. I assume these are like regular Titans. And you might have maybe Colossal Titans or something, because you have villains and then you have super villains. So if I'm trying to think of something that would fit along those lines, that would make sense. You have like the Nameless Titans are the kind of basic ones, and then you have the big boys. I'm starting to think maybe this 3D gear equipment may in fact be like a kick. Even though it's an equipment, maybe it's like so basic that like everyone needs to have it, which is also true to the series. So I feel leads a little bit of credence to that. Let me set that aside a bit. Okay, so we do have starter cards. Here we go. Arch enemies. Maybe this is it. Okay, so let me see. We have the named Titans, which are named also Titans, but they have different color backgrounds. So red is usually our villain in the main deck, and then here's perhaps the Titan ongoing. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, so these are going to be the super villains that you'll have to defeat, and then these are the ones that are part of the main deck. And all these Titans have ambush effects, which makes sense for the series, but I don't know if you can buy them and do anything with them, but we'll take a look. And we have these new specific cards, which are Titans on attack. So Titans on attack cards. And let me organize this just a little bit, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so taking a look. Our starter cards, we have Thrust, which is a movement card with nothing here. Doesn't generate any power, but it has 2 movement, which you will no doubt need. Courage, which is funny because that's what we have in the Power Rangers deck building game, which gives us +1. So there's likely plenty of those. You know what? Oh yeah, it's literally just Courage and Thrust. So it looks like there's no vulnerabilities in this. It's either Courage or Thrust. I'm assuming the ratios are the same, so you'll have 7 Courage and 3 Thrust, which, if you don't want to move, they're basically nothing cards. And you'll be getting other cards that do the same thing, but just better, so you more than likely will want to be getting rid of these cards near the end of game or kind of mid-late. Now, since these 3D gears were separate from the other equipment, pretty sure these are the substitution for the kicks, which are superpowers, the light constructs, which I don't think are anything other than constructs, like they're their own subset, and I forget what the other ones are called, but they've done this in the past where they're kind of specific. These are equipment, which if you're playing with a character who benefits from equipment, hey, you get an extra bonus. especially if you're playing with like base Batman or something. Instead of being a +1 power, it's a +2, so that's pretty neat. It only costs 2, so it's very easy to buy. +1 power, you may put this card back on the 3D gear stack. See, right there, that kind of proves it. If you do, +2 move, or sorry, move 2, and get an additional power. So it only costs 2, and it can potentially give you 2 power and 2 movement. And there's a finite number of them, so you'll probably be putting it back on the stack, doing some big move, and then another turn maybe, I only have a 2 left, what am I going to buy? I'll just buy another 3D gear. Cool. Now let's go back and see what the rest of the gear looks like. We have cannons. Those are really cool. We have cloaks, which is a defense card. I bet you're going to need them because every single one of these regular Titans have an ambush effect. Flintlock rifle. Food. I guess that would be equipment. Fuel canisters. Horse. Yeah, I guess that would be. Signal flare. Swords. And a Titan trap. That is the most expensive thing, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, no, a draw card is always going to be a great thing. So not too bad. Not a huge number of cards though. I feel like others, like core sets, have been bigger. Then we have our allies. We have Berthold Hoover, Ness, Comrade Pixies, Eld, Gunther Schultz, Haynes, Ian Dyrich, Gene, Keith. Gonna skip some of the last names if I'm not sure on them. Kits, Krista, Sis, Marco, Mish, Nanaba, Bozad, Petra, Rayner, Thomas, and her. So that's cool. Your ally stack is akin to the hero stack, so it's kind of the same thing there. We got location cards, not too many of them, but that's kind of the normal. We have the Armory, Old Survey Corps HQ, Forest of Giant Trees, the hospital, might need that, Shinganshima, and Training Grounds. That's going to be a really cool, important one, I assume. Let's look at the Titans. No, let's look at these maneuvers, which I now realize are the substitution for the superpowers. Because I was like, orange, what's orange? And then I thought a little bit, wait a second, the kicks are superpowers. It's just superpowers. Heroic Sacrifice, that's from like episode 4 or something. Escape. Kill Shot. Pay Tribute. Reel In. Long Distance Scouting Formation. Resupply. Surprise Attack. Swing Away. So like many other base sets, there's a lot of duplicate cards. And when you combine it with another set, odds are you're just going to take out the duplicates to have it be basically an expansion added to that set, which is probably what I'm going to do if I add it to Rebuild. And I think this, even though it can work with other ones, like this card would just give +3 power. Now, is it worth +3 power to cost 5? Not really, but with that 2 movement, you know, it's a little easier to digest at that cost. As for the Titans, or the villains, we have the Titan, 4 meter, so I guess that's how tall he is. We have the 5 meter, 6 meter, oh, 3 of those, 7 meter, 8 meter, and 9 meter. Do we have a 10? We do. We have 2 copies of the 10 meter Titan. So that's actually pretty crazy. And he's really tall. So that's really cool stuff. Then let's go to the Colossal Titan in form of our larger ones. I am wondering though, okay, so that's how much it costs to beat him. or usually what it would be. Then you have this 40 count, unless that's like its HP. So you'd have to basically beat it 4 times to actually beat it. Not too sure. And then maybe it's worth the 9 points. I think that's how that works. So that first one is your Colossal Titan. Next one is Bean, which is a weird name. Bearded Titan, which makes sense. Armored Titan, I mean, it makes sense. Deviant Titan, which I just hate the eyes. They're too. Another Deviant Titan. I hate the way that thing runs. It's too weird. Deviant Titan. Female Titan, which looks like one of the other ones, but has long hair. Smiling Titan, which is very off-putting. Then Sunny, who is right there. Next, we'll look at the Titans on attack cards, which I might just put in clear sleeves so you can always see the back of those, because these are not going to be with every other stack, and they're going to be special. The rest are going to get, for me, any of these cards that have the Cryptozoic generic back, you're going to get the yellow sleeve treatment, which is what I personally use for my DC deck building Cryptozoic engine games. We have Charge, Titans on attack. Crush. Eat. I guess this just tells them what to do. Grab. Injure. Reinforcements. Scare. Smile. I don't like that. Break through. And steaming. So that's all very nice and terrifying. Then we have a wound stack. So these are the green cards that would be just wounds. During your turn, play wounds before playing other cards. Ongoing, if you play a wound or gain a wound, you die. Oh, what? At the start of your turn, discard a wound you control. Return destroyed wounds to the wound stack. These are all the same. I'm not really sure what that, does that mean if you have the one, like the ongoing effect is now if you get into another one, like if you get double wounded basically in one turn, or like once you play one, you haven't played it, but if you get wounded again, basically adding a second one either to your discard pile or into play, you then die. And I wonder if dying means you're absolutely out of the game. Lots to learn from this game. So let's take a look at the oversized character cards, because they're usually the stars of the show. We're about to see that right now. Go ahead and get this oversized character card also out. One weird thing to me is that this one doesn't say promo anywhere. Usually when they are a promo, they will say it. One of those other color. Oh wait, they all have different colors. Never mind. Never mind. I thought it was significant, but it's not. They all have different colors. You have Armin. Pay 3 move. Pass a card from your hand to another hero in your district. That player passes you a card from their hand. So they could they could just pass you the same card, or they can be a buddy and pass you something important, or you can pass them something good, and then they can pass you something bad as part of the cooperativeness of the game. Connie, hero, if you play 2 or more different equipment during your turn, +2 power. You know where that's going to be really good? When you have 3D gear. There's one right there, and if you just get one of the other ones, then there you go. +2 power. I'm assuming that's a once per turn. Aaron, if you play a wound during your turn, +2 power and 2 move. Or move 2. Gotta get used to that. Each time you defeat a Titan, choose a hero. That hero draws a card. Erwin, pay 4 movement, choose a hero. That hero draws a card. That's pretty neat. Levy, if you play 2 or more maneuvers during your turn, +2 power. So another kind of basic ability. Mikasa, your defense cards may be used to avoid an ambush against any target in the district or adjacent district. So she can defend for other players and protecting them, because that's kind of her role. Sasha, pay 2 movement, move another hero 1 space. And as for the promo that we got, Hange, probably Hange, Each time an arch enemy Titan is defeated, so that's going to be one of these super villains, you may destroy a card in your hand. So that doesn't mean each time you defeat one, it's each time that they're defeated. So you don't have to worry about being super active in doing so, but you can destroy cards in your hand. At the end of each of your turns, draw an additional card for each Titan in your space. So there's the incentive of being in the action, you get to draw more cards. Now, the incentive of them being defeated, other than winning the game state, is her being able to destroy cards in her hand. Hopefully, there's way more stuff here that allow you to do that, but having a built-in mechanic to do so is going to make her a stronger character overall. Well, guys, that's it for the Attack on Titan deck building game. Stay tuned. We will definitely be playing some games of this and figure out how to play it, and possibly more importantly, how to record it. Because this is going to be a little different from our usual foray that we've been doing, especially with the Power Rangers deck building game with the vertical view and the DC where it's kind of just this rectangle. I don't know if that's going to work for something with movement. If you're looking for a podcast to listen to and you want to learn more of the Spider-Man of the future, Spider-Man 2099, check out Accelerated Visions, a Spider-Man 2099 podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere you can find podcasts. If DC is more your thing and you want to learn more about the King of the Seven Seas, check out Water Damage, an Aquaman podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere you can find podcasts. Every so often on those podcasts, we will be having episodes that aren't necessarily related to the titular characters. For example, in the DC one, we might be covering other characters at times as a preview of sorts for another sister podcast. If it catches any ground and people like what they listen to, then we will continue on with the series. Be sure to follow on those platforms, and if you're able to, leave a rating on Apple Music and Spotify. It really does help us to reach more people, and that is ultimately what we want to do, is to teach and share the love of these characters that may not be getting the most spotlight. Are there plenty of Spider-Man podcasts? Yes. Are there plenty of Spider-Man 2099 podcasts? I'm going to say lesser so. Are there plenty of Batman podcasts? Yes. Superman? Also yes. Aquaman? Not super many. I'm going to say more than there are Spider-Man 2099, but not too many. And I do believe ours is the first that is Aquaman centric and not sharing spotlight with another character. If you want to stay up to date my videos and live streams both YouTube and Twitch, check out links in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe, and consider joining. That's all for now, guys. Manjoume out.